This video is intended for Marvel Snap beginners to intermediate players, or somebody who just gets up to like level 80 and 90 and they just can't seem to hit infinite. They don't know why. They blame it on bad luck. They blame it on playing rigged decks. They don't have the cards. Well, I'm going to explain here 10 tips that should get you to infinite by the end of this season in October 2024 if you start using these right away. This season runs for an extra week. I hit infinite a couple days ago. I hit infinite every time I play. And I really do hope this helps you get to infinite. Some of these tips are common sense that you just really don't think about, and some maybe that some you've never heard of. So we're going to go ahead and get into it right now. Number 10, don't multitask when you're playing. Don't go looking at another website. I understand streamers are going to have to multitask because they are streaming Marvel Snap. I stream Snap on Twitch and here on YouTube. But that's what Conquest Mode is for, especially if you've never hit infinite before and you're trying to get there. Just focus on one thing at a time. Ideally, if you do multitask, you're going to miss a location. You may forget where your opponent played Nico. There could be something else like a Negasonic out there and you play into that lane. So just don't multitask. Focus on one thing at a time. Number 9, know all the cards. Every Tuesday right now for Marvel Snap, there's going to be at least one new card and a couple of spotlight cards. So you want to make sure you know all those abilities. It's very, very painful, like a big shot to the gut, when you're sitting there thinking you have 100% victory for 8 cubes, and then a card comes out and you're like, I didn't know that was going to happen. And then all that work you did to get up to that, next 2 levels gets shot right down just because you didn't know the abilities. Take a few seconds, learn all the cards, take some notes. It'll help you out in the long run. Okay, tip number 8. If you're playing on the PC, use what's called the Marvel Snap Untapped Deck Tracker. I'm going to go ahead and post in the comments below a tutorial made by our good friend Empty Apartment. So this website here is going to have a little tracker on the side. And I'll do a sample game after I do all these tips so you can see what it is. Basically, you can have your deck shown on a little tracker so you know what you've drawn, what you've discarded. You can also have one for your opponent. This does help new players and even players like me if you have a brain fart because there's so many cards in Marvel Snap. It can be like, what else do I have in this deck? Oh yes, I didn't draw this card yet. I have potential to draw it now. So I highly encourage you, if you're playing on PC, to use this deck tracker. It's free and it's easy to set up. And again, I'll post in the comments below a video to help you guys get it set up. Number 7, again, it's common sense to most. Don't play when tired. This is something that would cost me tons and tons of levels. It's like 1 in the morning. I'm tired. I just want to play a couple games, just a couple. And then next thing you know, 4 levels, crucial mistakes, sitting there raging, all because I played tired. Again, if you want to play tired, play Conquest Mode. That's not going to hurt your rank. Okay, tip number 6, have one game-changing card in your deck, at least one. These are just some examples right here. Spider-Ham, if you can play him off the bat, is pretty much going to douse one of your opponent's cards. So let's say you're playing a Hela deck, and he bops Hela. There goes pretty much his whole strategy, right? Shadow King's going to set a lot of their cards back to neutral. Armor's going to be able to prevent a lot of people playing destroy cards. Rogue's going to be able to snag that null, if they're playing Mystique, Wong, Devil Dino, Darkhawk. You want to have cards like this in your deck, so that way your opponent may not expect this, and that's how you win your 4 cube and 8 cube games. But most of these cards right here. Negasonic's another one of my favorites as long as you have priority. Legion can raise a lot of hell. Magneto is great to pull cards out of a location. Claw is good too if you can't play cards in a certain spot. I will make a video in the future with game-changing cards, but for now, this is just a quick example. And if you need more help with this, go ahead and comment below. I'd be more than happy to help you. Number 5, try new decks in Conquest first. Again, until you're familiar with the deck, try it out there to make sure you get into a good rhythm. I know there are a ton of excellent Marvel Snap players on YouTube and Twitch that'll say best decks right now according to the meta, or decks that they have a high win percentage rate with. But if you're not comfortable knowing how that deck works, like let's say you enjoy playing move cards, right? But then someone says the best deck now to play is destroy. If you're not sure how those cards are going to work, just because you have the best deck, if you can't execute, it's not going to help you. So again, try new decks in Conquest Mode first, get familiar with it, and then go ahead and play your ranked games. Okay, tip number 4, mute and check OPP deck. What this means is I really don't care about the emotes. And I know a lot of the community gets fired up when they see the Miss Marvel or they see the Deadpool or, just something that's going to take them out of their entire focus for the rest of the day by seeing that. Or the snap, like if you're playing aggressively, like I say in my next tip coming up, and then you somehow lose, which does happen, and the OPP says snap, and it gets you all raged, it's like, just mute them right off the bat. You don't have to worry about any of that. This isn't poker where you have to see them face to face anyways, so it's nice just to mute them and not give them any extra tells, and just to keep yourself focused on what's in hand. And what I mean by check opponent deck, I'll do one sample game when we're all done with these 10 tips. You can click your opponent's little name right there while you're muting them, and you'll see how many cards are in their deck. So essentially, if they're playing Erishim, they're going to have about 20 plus cards, and you'll know off the bat that they're going to have a whole bunch of hodgepodge coming at you. And the same thing with the Thanos deck, they're going to have about, I want to say, like in the teens for a Thanos deck. Number 3, play aggressive, not reckless. So what I mean by that is, don't play on tilt. Yeah, I come from a Texas Hold'em background. I used to play a lot of poker back in the day when online poker was popular. What I always did was I play aggressive. You know, if I had my aces or kings, I'm going to play that. I'm going to raise you. But I'm not going to raise every hand. So same can be said for Marvel Snap. If you pretty much built your deck around, right now, one of the popular decks is Hell Cow and Hella. So if you have Hell Cow and Hella in your hand, before all 3 locations pop, go ahead and snap. That's what you built your deck for, right? And then if it doesn't work out, you may have to retreat. That's okay too. But don't go in there gunslinging expecting to win every single game in Marvel Snap. The game is not built to win every game. The way you get to infinite is to maximize your cube potential. Tip number 2, if opponent snaps on turn 6, peace out. This is heavily recommended for new players to Marvel Snap. This reiterates the point we made earlier, where if you don't know all the cards, most people aren't bluffing in a regular game. Conquest World may be a little different, but ideally, let's say you snap because you have your good cards, and then they re-snap on turn 6, and you're like, well, can I beat this? They usually have the money card. And it's kind of like those cards that we talked about earlier with the game-changing cards. Just get out. Again, you've worked hard to get to that level. If you lose 8 cubes, you're going to be sour for a little bit, because you're going to go all the way down after you just won those 1 cube battles, 2 cube battles, even a 4 cuber that you may have stuck in there. So if opponent snaps on turn 6, of course, if you're 1,000% sure you can win, go ahead. But that's usually tough for beginners and intermediate players to know. And this will save you a lot of time. Then you can focus more on other games. And our number 1 tip that a lot of people, for some reason, just don't take advantage of, and this is my favorite days to play. So take advantage and build decks in favor of hot locations and featured locations. So currently, as of October in 2024, Marvel Snap has what's known as a hot location and featured location. Featured locations are usually when you get a new location coming out that Snap's excited to showcase. It's going to be featured in a high percentage of games for 24 hours. At my time in the Central Time Zone in the USA, so it runs from 2 p.m. to 2 p.m. Wednesday to Thursday. And the hot location runs Sunday 2 p.m. to Monday 2 p.m. So this is what we just did too. If you're interested in this, I do make videos pertaining to hot locations if you want to click that subscribe button. So this is the one that they just had yesterday. It was Olympia. I pushed everybody to play Hella because with drawing 2 more cards, you're going to be able to get your Hella combo pretty much every single game. And then you could throw Jubilee in that deck also to ensure you're going to get that combo. Again, you're not necessarily going to win every game because this location is not guaranteed to show up. However, if you're playing right, you're going to win a high percentage more games because you already have the odds in your favor, because I still don't see many snappers taking advantage of these hot location and feature location time slots. Especially if you're somebody who struggles with infinite, you can climb 10 levels easy if you stick to this strategy. Even if you can't commit much time to play in Snap. I know a lot of people will say Marvel Snap says it's time consuming to get to infinite. Well, it can be, but if you just pay attention and cash in your most time you can play when the hot location and feature locations are out, you're going to hit infinite. So here are your 10 tips right here. We're going to go ahead and just do one sample game for those who are new to the Untapped Deck Tracker. I want to show you guys that with one game here. Okay, so here we go. So you can have your little slots with your opponent and your decks, either the tall way or the long way. I prefer the tall way like this. Go ahead and get in one game here just to show you everything we taught you here. So we're focused. We're not multitasking anywhere. To a degree we are because we're doing this video. There you go. Comes your opponent. Like I say, immediately click over here on the far right. He only has 9 cards, so it's a standard deck. Click the mute button here. Play our bounce deck here. It's another thing. I'm glad this card came up. So when you're playing Nico, when your opponent has Nico, you're going to want to make sure you click the card on their side to see what their ability is going to be next. Really good for us here. But now again, we're playing aggressive, not reckless. We're going to get it. We're guaranteed to get a 6-cost card that's going to cost nothing, and we'll be able to play it in that middle location. We're going to go ahead and snap here. We're going to pick all these up. Bishop. As we talked about earlier, too, Spider Ham is such a powerful card for a 1/1. Bishop can't get any points, unfortunately. We're going to go ahead and do this. Actually, we can get more energy here. That's fun. Anything over there. That beast dominant. And he's out. There you go. I do hope this video helps you guys rank climb. If this does help you this season, go ahead and comment below. Let us know if there's anything else you'd like me to talk about. I do plan on making a video soon in regards to those game-changing cards. And yeah, best luck to you guys this snapping season.